In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 things that I think contributed to my ability to get to 500 sales so quickly. And then I'm also going to be sharing 3 sort of learnings and mistakes that I've made and things that I can do better going forward. Hi, I'm Shay. I'm a beginner to Etsy. I started my store in January 2023, and my goal is to build it to a 6-figure business by the end of the year. So on this channel, I'm documenting my progress. I share my monthly sales, and I share all the strategies and everything that I'm doing to build my brand new store. So if this interests you, if you also want to build a 6-figure Etsy store, or you just want to see what it's like as a beginner on Etsy, please like, subscribe, and follow along. So I am selling digital products on Etsy. I sell Canva templates for small business owners. And I just passed a milestone in my shop that I've been looking forward to. It is reaching 500 sales, and I'm super excited that I hit that mark. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about 3 things that I think I did well and what actually contributed to me reaching the 500 sale mark. And then I'm also going to talk about 3 things that I definitely can improve on and are kind of mistakes and things that I learned along the way. So the first and number one thing that I think contributed to my sales is listing consistently. If you've seen my other videos, you know I talk about this all the time because I think it is the number one most important thing, especially when you're selling digital products or print on demand on Etsy. So I have been posting 3 listings on Etsy every single day, which has been a lot. I'm not going to lie, but I do think that that has made it possible for me to grow my shop so quickly. So right now I'm just over 200 listings in my store. So in order to get the 3 listings a day, it's not 3 completely brand new products. And in fact, this actually leads me into my second thing that I think I've done well, and that is the idea of just testing everything and just experimentation. So as a new store, you can do a lot of research about specific niches, specific products. You can see products that other new stores are selling well. But in order to really understand what your customers are going to buy and what is going to rank well in your shop, you need to test, you need to experiment. So I think that that really contributed to my ability to make sales. So let me explain what I mean by experimentation. So when I create a listing on Etsy, I create multiple versions of that listing. I might do different colors or different styles. And then I also create different listing photos, maybe different mock-ups and you know, maybe a listing photo that has words on the top and then a listing photo that doesn't, that's just the mock-up. So I iterate and test different types of products and just test as much as I possibly can. So a specific example of this is, say I'm making like a habit tracker template, right? Just like a printable template. And for me, I love neutral colors. So I might make one in a neutral color and the checkboxes might be like tan or some neutral color. But I understand that not everybody likes those colors and that isn't always like eye-catching or anything on when someone's scrolling on Etsy, right? So I also am going to make a pink version of the habit tracker, or maybe I also make a colorful version so it has multiple different colors of this tracker. And then I might also, you know, add, I don't know, some kind of cute boho flower design on the tracker as well, because maybe somebody wants that. So with one product, I'm making multiple different versions. And I mean, you can even iterate like the fonts. Maybe you do a cursive version and maybe you do a more minimal sort of like sleek font version. So you're testing a lot of different styles, and because of that, you're able to get a ton of listings from just one item, but then it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone because you're also testing and trying to figure out what works. And this has contributed to my success so many times on Etsy because I will literally have a plain version of a product and then I have a colorful version of a product, and say the colorful version sells 10 times as much as the plain version, or maybe the plain version doesn't even sell at all. And if I had just stopped with making one version, I never would have gotten the sales on the other item. So it is super important to test and try different styles and try to figure out what your customers like. Now, I will say one caveat here. You don't want to go too crazy to the point where it makes your store look kind of, all over the place and disjointed. You still want to have the listings and everything look cohesive, even though you are iterating with different styles. Another way I test is with the listing cover photo, and I have many examples of where I've had a plain cover photo and then I take the exact same product and I have maybe a more aesthetic mock-up kind of boho cover photo. And the aesthetic photo will sell a bunch, and then the other one might not even sell at all, which is super fascinating. But then on some products, it's the opposite. So on some products, maybe the more plain cover photo sells better. So that's why I just recommend testing as much as you can, especially early on, because you don't exactly know what the customers are going to like and what is going to get picked up by the Etsy algorithm and sell better. So this leads me directly into the third thing that I think contributed to being able to hit the 500 sale mark so quickly. And that is that I doubled down on what's working. So once I created multiple listings and had different variations of the item, then I would look at the data and see what's working and then create more versions and more bundles, more variations of what is working. And I have many examples of this as well, where I had a best-selling item and then I decided to create an extended version of that item. And maybe I did some sort of bundle and had a couple different things within that bundle package. And then that bundle now becomes a great selling item as well. And I would never have made that if I wasn't paying attention to the data and paying attention to what's selling, what keywords are ranking well for me, and kind of the styles that are working well for me. So as you go and do this, you'll kind of refine a little bit better what works well for you. And then you can just double down and put more time into what's already working. So I really think that those three things, listing consistently, experimenting and testing to see what works, and then once you figure out what works, doubling down on that, those three key concepts are so important to success on Etsy. And I think that as a beginner, if you can focus on those three things, that will definitely bring sales to your shop. Okay, so now on to three things that I am still working on that I think I could do better. The number one, and I've talked about this before, is niching down and having a consistent and cohesive store. So I am selling Canva templates for small business owners, but I have jumped around two different niches, and I haven't always been consistent with what I am listing. And sometimes I'm just randomly choosing items. And I think part of it was like in the name of experimentation, I was like, oh, I'll just try this out to see. But then it just made my store look so messy, and it didn't do as well because it wasn't like the actual niche that I'm in. So definitely niche down, have a consistent store, have a customer and specific audience in mind that you are selling to, and make products for that person. The second thing that I really want to do better moving forward is with marketing. So I've talked about in my previous videos how I kind of have some issues with Etsy ads, and I'm really trying to figure that out and work on that to get those ads to work for me, because I think that they are so powerful and such a low cost way to bring eyes to your Etsy store. And then with that, I do want to start doing other types of marketing like Pinterest. I just barely opened my Pinterest account. I haven't really done much with it, but moving forward, I think what's going to get me to 1,000 sales and beyond is trying to drive more traffic, more external traffic from Pinterest, and also trying to fine tune those Etsy ads. the last thing, and this actually might be the most important thing that I am really trying to work on, is working smarter, not harder. So, when I hit the 500 sales mark, I thought I would, I don't know, I guess feel better than I do, because I think what it did is when I hit that, I was just like, wow, this is a great milestone, but I feel like I've just been running on a hamster wheel to get to this point, and I am kind of feeling the burnout a little bit. So when I'm thinking about working smarter, not harder, I'm thinking about, okay, what can I do with the listings I've already created to make more sales? So that could be doubling down more on what's already working and, kind of iterating off of that. It could be making larger bundles with items that are already selling well and trying to up my average sales price. And then it also could be sending more Etsy ad money and focusing my Etsy ad money on those top listings to get more sales to them. And then also using Pinterest. I'm like, how can I make more sales without actually doing more work? That's basically one of the main things that I'm trying to work on moving forward. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Good luck in growing your Etsy shops, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along. See ya!